Working class beer reviews. This is a video by request given to me by a friend of mine, Jordan. He did a review with me, and I went and visited him a little bit ago, and he had some home brews that was given to him, but they're unmarked. Or they're slight. He doesn't know exactly what they may be, and he's had them for a while, and he's like, "Hey," so I'll give these to you if you do a review. But the thing is, they may be past date, and I don't know exactly what they are, but I may have an idea. So he asked if I could do them in succession and see what they are. So this is going to be kind of a bit of an adventure here. I'm in my basement because it's gritty, it's damp, dark. I got some lights here. It's raining outside. It's supposed to storm tonight. So I thought I'd just do something different. Any of you guys own an older home that has a dingy old basement or cellar or something like that? That's what I've got. My house was built in 1902, so it's pretty old. So we're going to start off with this one is in a, what is this? A New Belgium bottle. So some sort of New Belgium product. It's got R on it. Now, he did tell me that he thinks that one of them might be a red ale. So most home brews are going to be ales, not lagers, just because when you buy these kits, it's a pretty simple process, straightforward. So I'm going to, there's still some water vapor in there. It didn't really rush out, but okay. So I got just my church key on my car keys here. So I'm going to do just a normal chalice like this, a goblet type thing, and we'll see what it looks like. I have no idea what to expect. So let that kind of set up. There's a little bit of, because of being homebrew, I bet there's a bit of sediment. I'm gonna swish and pour. There's probably just a little, like an ounce or two left in here. And so I'm going to, oh yeah, there's a little bit that came out of there, a little cloud. Let's see what we got here. So I have no idea what to expect. This is a complete, just, I guess you could, like, blind in a way. So I hope the light can, it's very cloudy. And with home brews, I expect them to be, you know, they're not going to be clear as a bell because it takes a good amount of filtering and equipment to do that kind of stuff. So with this, I get the cap said R, which I meant red ale. It's more like a copper, like an amber ale, I guess you could say. Hopefully the light's getting this, and I'm sorry if the light's not that great. So it's still retains a good amount of head. So this is in his fridge. He has a beer fridge upstairs. I don't know how old these beers were when given to him. I would name the person that made them, but I have not talked to them, and I don't know if they want their name disclosed on YouTube or anything like that. So, but I'll make sure that this video gets forwarded on to him at some point, so he can see the fruits of his labor. So yeah, it's still got it's got a fairly thin head. Yeah, it receded, but you know, for a home brew, and I don't know how many times he's done this. If this is like his first outing, or if he's done this multiple times, I don't know. So what appears to be an amber ale of some sort. So let's give it a smell. Ooh, very malty. Surprisingly, a great smell. Yeah, it smells like Michelob Amberbach, something like that. I don't know the ABV. I don't know the IBUs. I don't know, you know, what grains or hops are used in this. So I'm not I've never bought any of these kits or done this process myself. I wouldn't mind getting into it. That'd be kind of fun. Although it does sound like a bit of work. But yeah, sweetness. It has a Doppelbock type sweetness to it. Not candy, but malty sweetness. I don't smell a whole lot of hops going on. So let's give this a sip. Yeah, it's got that kind of malty sweetness. It's not candy sweet. It tastes like a Doppelbock with lower ABV is what it tastes like. So it doesn't have any booziness or anything to it. So, whoa, that was weird. I don't know if that the microphone picked that up. I have to guess it's probably, if it's around 5% ABV, that may be about right. It could be a little bit higher. It could be above 5, like 5.5 or something. I don't suspect. By smell and taste, I would think it was a lot higher, but I don't get any of that. Watch, this is going to give me a huge stomach ache later with whatever yeast or the fermentation. It's very probable. So I might pass it on later if you guys watch another video beyond this. So stay tuned. So I've got a total of 3 right here. And so yeah, it doesn't taste bad. It doesn't taste old, but you know how some beers, as they age, everything kind of subdues. So if there was hoppiness before, it's probably faded out over time. It may have actually tasted hoppier when it was fresh, but that's actually kind of what hops were meant to do anyway. They're a preservative, and like IPAs were meant to travel for long periods of time across the ocean, so that way by the time the beer got to its destination, it wouldn't be spoiled, and then it wouldn't taste overly hoppy. It was just hoppy when it was fresh. So same thing could have happened here. So the hops may have preserved it, but the flavor of the hops faded away. So yeah, it tastes like an amber ale, like a sweet amber ale. And I don't know if that's what I was going for. Like I said, the R was on the top of the cap. I don't know where I put that, but oh, right here. Yeah, it was written R on top of the cap. So I'm guessing that was a red ale, which that's pretty close. Red ales, amber ales is, you know, they're going to be pretty close in color. Honestly, one's going to be probably a little more rusty in color than the other. So, but yeah, that's actually pretty good. All right, so beer number 2, we got a short neck that looks like a Sierra Nevada or maybe a Boulevard. Still got an old label residue on there. Then we got another New Belgium bottle. It's got what appears to be a C on the cap. So I don't know what that would be as far as style, unless it's like a Citra Pale Ale. Could be. My cousin Tony, actually, which I need to do a video with him, he brewed beer and he made a Citra Pale Ale. So we're going to try this next. Oh, it's rising out of the... It's not rushing, so it's still lively. These obviously are some sort of bottled condition. They must have been kept in the dark, obviously in a fridge, cold. So that probably helped keep these going. So I've got this lager glass here. This may not be a lager. I don't, no idea. Excuse me. So let's see what we got. Oh, it's darker still. Look at that. Similar in color, more head, but wow, carbonation for sure. So these are fairly well preserved. I'm honestly surprised. A good amount of head there, like over 2 fingers, 2.5 maybe, but the narrower glass is going to help with that. Kind of spongy, but yeah, unfiltered. I can see some chunks at the bottom, but impressive. You know, for a homebrew, that's very impressive. I've heard of some horror stories of what people have made and they spoiled, or you know, it's hard. And I know they make these kits to make it as easy as possible, but you know, human error is always a factor. So similar copper, probably a little lighter, definitely some chunks throughout. I said, I hope these things don't give me a bellyache. The head's, you know, receding but retaining better than the previous one, but that may have to do with the glassware. So let's give it a smell. Okay, that's got a little more hoppiness to it. It definitely still like maltiness to it. I don't know what this is. So I'm guessing some sort of a pale ale. By the cap, the only clue that gives me is a Citra pale ale. Citra being a type of hops, and I know that like I said, with my cousin, he made his own beer. He made a Citra pale ale, and it was good. So maybe like a West Coast type pale ale, like a Sierra Nevada or a Boulevard pale ale, American style APA instead of an IPA. So APA, American pale ales, tend to be hoppier than the British pale ales and stronger in body, like higher in alcohol. British pale ales, I don't know if it's a tax thing or just a style choice, but a preference they have over there. They're just not as strong. And when they started making home brews, you know, in the late 70s, early 80s, up into the 90s, they preferred that kind of robust, full-bodied experience. So that's what you experience over here. And especially in the IPAs, they just went as bombastic as possible. So it smells really good. And I can smell hops in this one still compared to the possible red ale. So let's see what we got. Similar malty profile, like caramely type flavored malts. And I still got a bit in here. I'm going to drink it down before I pour the rest of this in here. Yeah, definitely more body. I don't taste like the presence of alcohol, but I feel like it is stronger based off its body and flavor. So let's top this off. Give this a little swish. And thank you again for letting me try these. I saw these. Oh yeah, that clouded up a great deal. Man alive. It looks like apple cider, like unfiltered apple cider. So yeah, a good deal of chunks, but that's just, you know, part of the brewing process. Some people prefer that over the highly filtered stuff. You know, good head retention on this one. I will give it that compared to the other one. Like I said, it may have something to do with the glassware, but ooh, whatever the must was in the bottom of that added to the aroma. I get more floral. Yeah, I get more hop type presence out of that. That's crazy. I didn't realize I would do that. So that whatever is murking this beer up added to the flavor in the body. So let's take another sip. Oh. Yeah, that's actually really good. If indeed they are a year old or even older, that's a testament to someone did the process right, because a lot of beers, you know, they put a date on them, and I think it has a lot to do with how you store them. I will say for Boulevard up in Kansas City, they didn't close their bottles into a box. It's like covered. It's not like where they have it in a 6-pack carrier and the top of the neck sticking out. No, they actually have a fold over top, and it's this size bottle, same, you know, like Sierra Nevada size bottle, the short neck, and they close it in, and so it keeps a lot of the light out. And even if they're stored in a warehouse in warm conditions, at least they don't get that light exposure, because they say the light exposure is actually what damages the beer. I don't know, I don't want to say photosynthesis, but whatever it is from the light will actually damage the beer. So, and that's especially true with clear bottle and green bottle beer, like Heineken, Corona. That's why it goes skunky, is because of light exposure, not just heat. So, and they're pasteurized too. So kudos to the processing on this. Take the last little sip. Yeah. Wow, that's really good. That's better than the other one. I mean, they're both good. There was nothing wrong with the first one, but that actually had more flavor to it. So whatever the C was over the R, yeah, it's really good. So, last and probably not least, I have no idea what this is. I can't see. It's just a plain blue cap, no marking or anything. And I'm going to use my globe glass here. Get my trusty little church key out. There's some carbonation coming up, just so you know. So be forewarned. Nope, not yet. Oh! Look at that! It just couldn't wait to come out. So I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know if that's good or bad. I think for beer that may not be a good thing. It doesn't smell bad. It could not wait. Okay, so it's about, yeah, it was just begging to escape. So here we go. Let's pour it in here. So lively. So the yeast is obviously very much alive in that one. Get the light here. Very cloudy. Huge head of foam, even despite the wide brim glass there. But it is fizzing and receding pretty quickly. Ooh, very yeasty. As you can tell by the activity. That is cool though. I'm down for it. I feel like I'm going to pay for this later. Not by alcohol consumption, but by the lively yeast is probably going to give my stomach a good time. I'm probably going to have a distended belly for a bit until this subsides. Thank you again for letting me try these. This is amazing. And this is not a testament to quality, as a good amount of time has lapsed, and obviously you're supposed to enjoy these within a certain window. The first two didn't have this. I don't know what this is. It's very cloudy and coppery, and there's stuff at the bottom, schmutz. But the head's still retention. The head retention is still there. So, yeah, it's not clinging to. It's soapy. It's like moussey. It's not clinging to the side of glass. I can rock it and it kind of goes. So, I don't know. Yeah. So, let's see. I wonder if this is meant to be a stronger beer. And that's why it was just rocketed out the top. Because Bourbon County had some beers that were infected that did that. But they weren't that old. They did that within their age range. So, the fact that this is aged, it kind of champagned out the top. There we go. I feel better. It's so murky. So this definitely had some extra fermentation in the bottle, but didn't blow the top. So, oh, way hoppier. So that's a good sign. I can still, my hands are sticky now. Still a lot of hops. So whatever, there was no marking on the cap. Whatever this was, and the bubbles are still going. So the carbonation, definitely a ton of carbonation. Yeah, here we go. I feel like I'm drinking like the sauerkraut of beers here with all these with natural. These aren't pasteurized that I know of in the bottle. They're probably bottle fermented. So yeah, hops for sure. I smell that. That's kind of cool. Which typically when you pour a beer aggressively and you have the head rise up like that, you actually get a better aroma, the hop aroma that way. Oh, that's stronger. Yeah, I can taste that's definitely has strength to it. So I can't guess what it, I can't even begin to guess what it is. But the amount of schmutz and sediment in there. Schmegma. And everything floating to the bottom. It tells me that this is a meant to be a full-bodied beer. I hope this shows up in videos so much. If I mess this up somehow, I'm gonna be so upset. So I think it's meant to be like an IPA. Yeah, I think so. I think it's supposed to be like a double IPA of some sort. Definitely not like a stout or a porter because it's not dark, so it's not roasted. Yeah, it's a very highly unfiltered double IPA, if I had to guess what this was. Because I can smell and taste the hops. But the maltiness in it, the stickiness is there. That was fun. And good thing it happened in my basement, so I don't have to worry about it. If I did this in the bedroom where there was carpet, yeah, then I had something to contend with. So I'm glad I didn't do it there. Or I guess I could have done it outside. I was gonna do it outside, but it's storming, and it's like raining, and I was afraid that just one little water droplet would land on the lens and just mess the whole thing up. I don't want to have to get up and wipe it off or anything like that. So I'm doing it in my gritty basement. So there you go. Anyway, here we go. Woo! Yeah, I like that. Surprisingly, it still tastes good. So it was not spoiled. It was just really fermented at a high fermentation. Yeah, I like that. So thanks, Jordan, for letting me experience these home brews and pass this along to the one that gave them to you, and tell him thank you, and he did a great job, especially if they're as old as you say they are. They stood the test of time. I don't know how you can't really rate home beers. I mean, I guess you can, but unless you do it yourself, then what benchmark do you have to set it upon? Because it's not as easy as it looks. And, you can't compare them to the macro level. So, yeah, kudos. Great. A great amount of appreciation to the work that went into these beers. 3 separate styles, 3 different flavors. And, yeah, I enjoyed those a lot. So thanks for watching this, and I hope it was entertaining. I tried to make it entertaining, and it was enjoyable for me, obviously, because I got to try 3 different home beers. And I will see you guys later.